I met her after midnight, on a night I never should have been outside. The rain was coming down in sheets, blurring the city lights into a watercolor mess. And then I saw her. She smiled at me through the downpour, a slow, seductive smile, like she already knew my name, like she'd known it for a long, long time. I didn't realize it then, standing there soaked to the bone, but she wasn't flirting. She was choosing me. I was walking home from a late shift at the diner, the kind of late where the city finally goes quiet and the streets belong to the lost and the lonely. The neon signs of the closed shops buzzed and sputtered behind me, casting long, dancing shadows. That's when I saw her, across the 4-lane intersection long, black hair plastered to her face, skin so pale it seemed to glow, and a red dress that was a slash of color against the monochrome night. She stood perfectly, unnaturally still, except for her eyes. Her eyes followed me, just her eyes. They tracked my every move as I walked along the opposite sidewalk. My first instinct was confusion. I glanced over my shoulder, checking if she was staring at someone else, some other poor soul out in this weather. But the street was empty. Just the rain, the buzzing lights, and me. It was only me. She crossed the street, not waiting for the light, moving with a strange, deliberate grace. Her heels made soft tapping sounds in the puddles, a rhythm that seemed to get louder as she approached. When she was just a few feet away, the scent of rain and something else, something like old, damp earth, filled the air around her. She leaned in, her voice a soft, intimate whisper that cut right through the noise of the storm. "Do you live far?" I was so taken aback, I just shook my head. "No, not too far," I mumbled. She smiled again, a small knowing curve of her lips. "You shouldn't walk alone." Her voice wasn't loud, but it didn't need to be. It echoed in my head, as if the words weren't spoken into my ear, but directly into my skull. I muttered a quick goodbye and started walking faster, my heart suddenly hammering against my ribs. I needed to get away, to put distance between us, but then I heard it. Footsteps behind me, soft, slow, perfectly in sync with my own. A chilling, mirrored cadence in the rain. I sped up, my walk turning into a panicked stride. The footsteps behind me quickened to match. I stopped dead in my tracks. The footsteps stopped a half-second later. My blood ran cold. I forced myself to turn around, expecting to see her a safe distance away. She was standing just inches behind me, so close I could feel a cold radiating from her, a pocket of winter in the humid summer night. Her eyes weren't normal. They weren't reflecting the streetlights or the neon signs. They seemed to be absorbing them, 2 pinpricks of absolute darkness. I broke into a run, sprinting the last block to my apartment building. I fumbled with my keys, my hands shaking so badly I could barely fit the key into the main lock. Once inside, I slammed the heavy door behind me and leaned against it, panting. I thought I was safe. I made my way down the dimly lit hallway to my apartment, number 3B, and then I saw her. She was standing at the far end of the hall, near the stairwell, as still as a statue. She wasn't breathing. I watched her for a full minute. She didn't even blink. Then a whisper slithered through the silence of the hall. "Don't go inside," but her lips hadn't moved. The voice didn't come from down the hall. It came from right behind me. I spun around, my heart seizing in my chest. There was nothing there, just the peeling paint of the hallway wall. When I turned back, she was right in front of me, blocking the door to my apartment. My keys slipped from my nerveless fingers and clattered onto the floor. Her face began to change. Her smile stretched, widening just a bit too far, pulling the skin on her cheeks unnaturally tight. Her neck tilted to the side, a slow, deliberate crackle echoing in the quiet hall. An angle no human neck should ever be able to achieve. Her dark eyes bored into mine. "You live alone," she whispered, her voice a rasp of dry leaves. How lonely that must be. I tried to take a step back, but the air behind me felt solid, thick, like an invisible wall was pressing against my back, holding me in place. She took a step closer, her cold breath washing over my face. I'm lonely too. Her voice dropped to a conspiratorial murmur. Let me in. Her hand, pale and slender, slid toward my apartment door, but she didn't touch the handle. She didn't touch the lock. Her fingers hovered an inch from the wood, and with a soft metallic click, the deadbolt on my door slid open. Pure terror gave me a surge of adrenaline. I dove for the door, grabbing the handle and slamming it shut just as she was about to cross the threshold. I threw my weight against it, fumbling to relock the deadbolt and the knob. The door immediately began to shake violently in its frame, as if a battering ram was being thrown against it from the other side. Her voice, no longer a whisper, seeped through the cracks around the door like a foul, smoky vapor. You can't shut me out forever, it hissed, filled with a cold, ancient rage. You let me follow you. The door shuddered again. You looked at me. Then, as suddenly as it began, the shaking stopped. The hallway fell silent. It's been 3 nights. I haven't left my apartment. I've barricaded the door with a chair and a bookshelf. But every night, at exactly 3:12 a.m., I hear them. The soft, deliberate tap of heels walking down my hallway. They always stop right outside my door. For hours, just waiting, listening. And last night was different. Last night, after the footsteps stopped, I heard a new sound. A soft whisper, not from the hallway, but from the corner of my own bedroom. It was her voice. And it said, I'm already inside.